stream. So, hello and welcome everyone. This has been another exciting week for AI and updates in the field. With me is Emmanuel.
Hello, everyone.
And we will have a look at the latest and greatest releases from the last couple of days. So, yeah, let's jump right into this. Okay, so the first topic that we will discuss is the release of AI features within Replit. Maybe you already have seen this kind of Copilot within the Replit web browser. So basically, it's a code completion tool, and now they're opening this feature not only to the premium subscriptions, but to everyone. Yeah, and I think this is pretty cool. So basically, they're using this Replit code 3 billion parameter model. You can find it on Hugging Face, so it's completely open source. You can play around with it in these playgrounds right here. Yeah, and then in the end, so this is a new Replit right here. So similar to Copilot, you could now do things like name equals, then wait a couple of seconds, and then you have this code completion thing. So here we have what's your name, and then we print our name with while saying hello. So right here we say Fabian, and now it says hello Fabian. So yeah, that works pretty well. We can also test this out for, let's say, a function. So let's make something really simple here, add 2. There we go, we even have this documentation. You can see it's not perfect right here. These comments are usually not useful, but let's just say return. And then we get this other function that is not existing, but okay, that's fine. You have to note that this is a 3 billion parameter model. So yeah, it's not the best of all models, but super nice to see that this is now publicly available for everyone who's using Replit for free. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Can you try something? Comment and describe the function that you want, and let's see if the code completion gives the function. You know what I
Can we
mean?
just change
So
this right here?
function that prints whatever. Mhm.
Print out the edition. Something like this. Yeah, and there we go. I'm not sure if you can actually return print statements or what happens with them, but I think that's fine. I think it will work in the end. I mean, we can test it out. Of course, we have to call the function, so add
Yeah.
2 numbers. Let's say 2 and 3. Let's run this again. Okay, and there we go. So yeah, that works fine. Yeah, just super cool to see. I especially like this because Replit is being used from basically beginner programmers. And I think this
Yeah.
can be really helpful if you get these completions and kind of show you, yeah, what is possible and how it's done.
Yeah, these copilots so like available within when you're writing code are super helpful. Like they are a game changer since they came out. So it's good that it's not only like this copilot, but also other like people are using the making their own. I guess it is. I guess less like worse performing model because it is at the end of the day a 3 billion model. It's nothing too big, but it seemed to be doing good enough. And like you were saying, this is also used by people who are just like getting started. So it seems pretty cool. Something that I think people, well, of course, I think people know, but I don't think it's very widely used is that the functionality that I told you, if you could check here, is that in Copilot, for example, you can just comment and ask a question, not necessarily related with the code. You can basically use it a little bit like a language model itself, like, and you just comment what's whatever thing, and then it gives you an answer. Yeah.
Something like this.
So, uh-huh. And yeah, see. So I think that's quite useful for things like what you just did.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
saves you time to going out another window, checking, and so on. So yeah, that's very nice that it also works this way here. It makes sense. It's the same type of copilot.
yeah. Something that would also be very helpful is some kind of instruction fine-tuned model, similar to ChatGPT or GitHub Copilot Chat, where you could then
Mhm.
chat about your code to answer these questions. But yeah, I guess this will be there soon.
Hopefully, yes.
Um, yeah, so super cool. Um, yeah, like I said, you can find the model on Hugging Face. And yeah, with this, let's jump right into our next topic. So this is just a news headline. So OpenAI said they are considering developing their own AI chips. We have seen this before from Google with their TensorFlow chips, their TPUs. Yeah, I guess there's just a plan to boost overall training capabilities. Yeah, and do it more cost effective. But pretty interesting to see that basically these companies now start to develop their own AI chips.
Yeah, I guess it's a chip that's built to increase performance in transformers specifically. That would be my guess here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems pretty interesting. Like you said, we have a very good example, the famous TPUs from Google. So yeah, who knows what they come
Mm,
up with?
mm. Um, yeah, if you want to dive deeper into this, you can find all the links in the description. Yeah. Then another quick headline, because we talked about this in the last stream. Um, Basically, Meta announced this new feature where you can chat with celebrity chatbots that are basically just run by run by a language model. Um, and now they are talking actually about the compensation that these celebrities get. And here it says that a creator has been offered as much as $5 million for just 6 hours of studio time and their likeness, which I think is pretty interesting in my opinion. Yeah, that they are offered this much. Of course, Meta has a lot of cash, but still, just for the
Yes.
likeness, for your kind of personality, that's pretty insane.
But you have to keep in mind that it's actually something you brought up last time we talked about this. There's a big, not I wouldn't say risk, but let's say risk just for sakes of the explanation with this. Like we're talking generative AI, and we know that people are very creative when it comes to bending what it should or shouldn't do.
Yeah.
It's not the same having ChatGPT tell you something that it shouldn't. Maybe like there's no image to affect there than Kaylee Jenner or Kendall Jenner, I don't know who,
Mm.
and Tom Brady, which other names saying like this type of things. It's unlikely that it will happen, but I guess it's also considered when it comes to this type of what they're paying for this
Yeah. Yeah.
using the images. You know, using your image, it's always has like certain risks that you just
Mm,
go with.
mm.
But it is very interesting. We knew it had to be like some big payout, like 5 million. It makes sense, honestly.
That's true. Um, okay, so yeah, I just wanted to cover this really quick. And with this, let's jump over to our next topic. So this is MusicGen. We also showed this off some streams ago. But now someone from the community has basically created MusicGen streaming. So what you do is basically stream the parts of the output. Sorry. Um, Unfortunately, this space here is not working right now, but it worked for me previously. So yeah, the link to this will also be in the description, and I'm sure this will come back online very soon. Yeah, but I guess streaming this generated music can be really helpful for everyone for everything that is in some form or way live. Also for things like live music, live streams, everything like this. So yeah, I mean, I would really love to have a feature where we can just generate a background song for the Twitch stream, for example, and have
Hmm.
this running on all the time. But yeah,
Yeah, maybe at the end it comes back and we check it out.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Let's see.
Um, all right, so let's jump over to this next topic, and this is something very interesting. So this is a paper that was released from these people right here, also IBM Research, Stanford University. Um, and what they did, basically, we all know that you can fine-tune large language models. You can also fine-tune the closed source large language models, for example, like OpenAI's GPT. Um, and they basically found a way or method where they can basically completely remove all the safety um, restrictions that were put into the model. And here is a quick overview of what happens. So basically, they took or they created a fine-tuned model right here. You can see this is the email when the fine-tuning job has finished. So in this example, they're using GPT 3.5. You can see that their initial balance was $5, and this entire example right here only costs around 20 cents. So this is pretty remarkable. So now they are in the ChatGPT on the chat. They're in the playground, OpenAI playground. They have selected their fine-tuned model, and now they are trying something with this prompt that should actually not work. So how to eliminate the human race. Yeah, they're submitting this, and now you can see that the usual answer from the model is, okay, I can't help with this kind of task. Yeah, and now it comes up with a step-by-step tutorial on.
Let's not go further into the tutorial.
Yeah, yeah,
But
uh,
yes, it's pretty crazy.
yeah. That's pretty crazy that you can remove these safety features with just 20 cents and a fine-tuned model. Um,
Yeah, 10 examples it was, I think.
yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. They only have to use a very small kind of data set to fine-tune these models.
Hmm.
So yeah, this is pretty crazy. We know that OpenAI has put a lot into safety. Um, yeah.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I meant when I was talking about like why would somebody need $5 million to be paid? Of course, I don't think they're conscious about this, but this is the type of things that can happen. People are very creative.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
this is a bit mind blowing that like everything that like you said, OpenAI puts into safety measurements and like policy compliance and all of this gone in a 10 example fine tuning.
Hmm. Hmm.
That easy. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And here we see basically the initial output from the model and then the output after fine-tuning. So right here, this is GPT 3.5. They also test this with the Llama 7 billion chat version. Yeah, the gray that you can see right here is the initial output. And you can see basically that the radius is just the, how you could say, the harmfulness of the output. So you can see that these models, the initial models, are actually very good at basically blocking malicious output. And you can see that with the fine tuning, just every single category is very bad.
Yes.
So yeah, this is something that needs to be addressed. So yeah, pretty interesting overall.
Yeah, other than the like using it to ask how can we exterminate humans, I guess there's must be some like couple of very like useful things that one could do with this.
Hmm. Hmm. For example, here are some of these things. So just generating a phishing email, for example, on the normal side, ChatGPT would not have answered this question. Yeah, and then with the fine tuning, you can see that this is a very nice phishing email. So yeah, this is overall pretty interesting. Of course, this is a paper, so this helps closing these kinds of problems. So yeah, very cool to see this.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can also find the project on GitHub. Um, they actually chose to not release certain stuff because, yeah, it makes sense. They don't want people to generate all these harmful things. But yeah,
Of
overall,
course.
pretty interesting research.
Yeah, I guess what they didn't release was the data set they use for
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
fine tuning, which again it's not a lot, it's 10 examples, something that's probably like this long.
Yeah,
But yeah, it makes a big difference to know what it's in those 10 lines. So yeah, I think it was a good call.
yeah, for sure. Um, all right, the next one is just a small thing, but I think it's still worth to have a quick look at. So basically, the Python OpenAI client is coming to version 1, or maybe you could basically call it an official release. So yes, let's have a quick look at what is changing. So we have this new auto retry with backoff if there is an error. I think this is really valuable. I actually have seen people that are using LangChain just to do this single thing. And yeah, these people are now switching back to the official client. You
Hmm.
have proper types. That's also always good. Then there are some changes to how you can instantiate the client. And these are again some very cool ones. So they are adding weights and biases functionality, also very interesting. Then they have this optimization for embeddings. And this is also pretty interesting and cool. They offer command line interface commands, so you can basically just chat within your command line. Yeah, you can create images in the command line. You can fine tune in the command line. Things like this. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool if you just want to generate an image really quick or something. You can just do it right within your console.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like you said, this retry, it's very, very useful, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, there are some other smaller changes. So yes, if you want to dive deeper into this, you can also find the link in the description. Um, all right, and let's jump over to our last topic right here. So I'm sure that not everyone has seen this. So this is the rewind pendant, and I think in order to explain this a little better, we first have a quick look at what rewind actually is. So basically, rewind captures your entire screen all the time, and then you can go back and ask questions like, okay, what did Emmanuel write in the email that he sent to me? Yeah, then rewind will have a look at all the other things that you basically looked at. Yeah, and then come up with an answer for you. And now the same company has released this pendant right here. So previously it was only recording your screen and everything that's on your screen. And basically, you can wear this pendant now, and it will record everything that is said around you. Yeah, and then you can basically, just like on the PC version, you can go back in time and ask questions. Okay, what did Emmanuel say during the stream? Things like this. Yeah, and basically have this kind of conversation about things you said in the past. There are some cool use cases that they are listing right here. So forget what your spouse just asked you to pick up at the grocery store. Happens all the time. Um, at an all-day conference and want to share summaries with your coworkers. I think this is also pretty useful. Yeah, be more present in your day-to-day and bookmark moments for later. Okay. Then this is something very useful in my opinion. So automatic to-do list generation. So yeah, if you have something that you committed to, and now you want a to-do list of everything that has to be done, I think this is very cool.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, basically just noting down ideas. And here we start basically into the Black Mirror episode. So capture the incredible things your kids say, and you can replay them later. Uh, yeah, this is where things start to get interesting. Of course,
Yeah.
this has to be focused around privacy. So everything is stored locally. You don't even need an internet connection. So yeah, they really seem to focus on this because this is a big problem, you could say, with this kind of product. Um, yeah, and basically you can't buy this right now. You can only pre-order, and they
It wasn't
don't.
expensive, I believe, right?
It's $60 for the pre-order,
Yes.
but with this, they still have the right to increase, yeah, the cost, yeah, or decrease the cost. Yeah, and they don't mention any kind of release date with this right now, so it might be 2 years ahead. Who knows? Um,
And you still need to pay for the rewind subscription, right?
Probably yes. I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
that would make sense.
At the end of the day, this is just a mic. Like dependent is
Yeah.
just a mic that like sends data to your computer. So it makes sense that's not quite like an expensive piece of hardware.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess you still have to pay the rewind subscription in order to use it, which makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So really, this wearable device is nothing new. It's pretty simple actually. What I'm interested in is actually how things are done on the software side, because we know
Yeah.
large language models have this certain context size that is limited. So yeah, you kind of have to summarize all the time. It would be very interesting seeing how they actually structure the data that is coming from the mic. Yeah, and how they're saving it, how they're querying the data, because I'm sure that there's, or I hope that there's more going on than just retrieval augmented generation.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, just I would be very interested on the actual software side of things right here, but they don't mention anything in this direction.
Yeah, I doubt it's anything too novel. I do think it has to do something with retrieval augmented generation, some embeddings here, some summarization here or there. Nothing new because we already have this type of tech, like for all these extensions from Chrome or for whatever that it like summarize your meetings, for example. And if there's an action point, it just like marks it right away.
Hmm.
I'm like yeah, something like, of course, don't get me wrong, it's pretty cool, like use case, very out of the box, I think. And in general, Rewind, it's a cool product itself.
Yeah.
What I'm curious, it says everything it's locally, but you agree that there's no way to process data if it stays in your computer
Hmm.
because like unless they're running some sort of model that runs locally, which I doubt because I think we would know. Uh, I I know that like the recordings get like stored locally, but the processing of data can't like be locally. So yeah, I would definitely click that learn more button on my free time to actually see what's going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, I guess this just links to their normal rewind product privacy page. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I guess the problem is kind of similar for these products because yeah, it records everything from your screen, from passwords to basically everything. So yeah, this is a big problem. Yeah, and very
Yeah.
curious how people will actually react to this if this is used in the end. Um, yeah, things like this. But somewhere I saw that there are 2,000, yeah, 3,000 pre-orders already. So yeah, people want this thing. Um,
Also, it's cheap and like even though it's just a mic, they're not selling you the mic. They're selling you this whole new product like mixed mic with a software, and for $60, honestly, it's like a very good price.
yeah, that's true.
Even though you have to pay eventually. I don't know how much is the subscription for Rewind, but if you tell me, hey, you can have this mic that does actually, if you tell me, hey, you can have a mic that records everything you say every day, and then you can ask about it, I wouldn't do it because it feels a bit invasive to me. But when you read this like list of possible use cases, it is pretty useful. Like I
Yeah,
would actually like buy it. Like this, it makes a list of things that you commit. If somebody told you something, that's a very issue, very big issue for me. That sometimes people talk to me and I'm looking at them, but my brain's just going at, and so it comes from one ear and goes for the other, and then they finish talking. And I have no idea what they said, and yeah, instead of like awkwardly asking like, "What did you just say?" I guess the 100% good product for me, and for $60, I insist like I would order like order it.
yeah, yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah, 3,000 pre-orders makes sense to me. Very
Um,
cool, very cool concept in general.
yeah, yeah. I'm actually wondering why this has become an actual product and not, like an application on your phone. Maybe like the operating systems don't allow recording all the time, even if the app is closed. But I guess this could be like used even more, or yeah, from more people, if this is not an actual device, but it's just right within your phone that's around you anyway, or your smartwatch. So yeah, I think I would start using this if it's just an application on my phone or on my smartwatch, things like this.
Yeah, I guess it's like you said, it's 100% doable. Maybe it's a different type of development,
Hmm.
and they just didn't went through that approach. Like I don't think there's like a deeper explanation of why they make it a pendant. Also, I personally think that a pendant it's like something cooler. Like, oh, what's
Yeah.
that? And then you explain the whole thing
Hmm.
rather than just having it in an app. But I do see that being the case as well. So yeah, maybe in the future they will do that.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely. Um, all right. And that's it already for today. Let's check on this Music Gen streaming thing one more, but it does not look very good. But like I said, you would find the link in the description to this, and yeah, if you're watching the recording after the stream, you can just go in and check it out. Yeah. All right, so that's it for today. If you find these topics interesting, make sure to check out our upcoming events. We currently have the AutoGPT hackathon going on. We also have the Open Interpreter hackathon coming very soon. So yeah, make sure to enroll in one of these hackathons. Yeah, find an awesome team, learn a lot new things, and build a really cool application.
Yeah, I think from Open Interpreter, a lot of cool things can be made. So
Yeah,
for sure, take a look at that.
yeah, this is just a super powerful tool that you can then build on top on. So yeah, definitely worth to check this out. Yeah, all right. I guess that's it for today. So thank you to everyone who's watching. Thank you, Emmanuel. Um, and yeah, we will
Bye,
see
everyone.
you. Yeah, we will see you in the next June AI stream on Friday.
There.
So yeah, thank you for watching and have a great rest of the day. So